Beautiful, beloved brothers and sisters. This is a specific initiation phase, informative video in relation to a collective energy transformational period for that of what might resonate as souls that feel a connection to the angelics. So the angelics are energy signatures that sit in the 11th and 12th dimension specifically. These are specific frequencies and light technologies, formatting, and unions that you might consider from the heavenly families, the cherubim, the seraphim, dragons, and the Elohim. So these angelic representations are your ascended masters, and they are also the energies of your archangels and different representatives of Christos. So before we go into what exactly this initiation phase is, it is around us anchoring in and becoming a level of love, frequency, and connection that has not been held in our own individual connections before. So it's not that it hasn't existed on the earth, it's that it's existed in a different format on the earth before in this angelic information. So I'm Geeia Ariati. I am the Oracle for the 144 and beyond, and it is my role and responsibility to be a channel or a conduit to communicate in language much of the themes and the collective initiations that move through our collective consciousness, through our soul groups, through that of our mission and purpose as a group consciousness. I transcribe and put language to a lot of the things that are moving through your field, my field, and our group field so that you can understand what you're moving through, where you're going, and what's taking place. So as an oracle, it is not my responsibility to forecast your future, because you are sovereign. It is not my responsibility to express different points of fated points of time or to tell you where or what you have to do, because there are many pathways to the one direction, and your soul and your sacred remembering will take you there. It is important for you to know that your soul is guiding you, that your heart is always going to take you to the journey of what God's words are through whatever experience is necessary. So sometimes that feels like ease and grace. Sometimes that's through turbulence and contrast. Sometimes that's through karma. Sometimes that's through soul remembering. And we are all spectrums of consciousness. We are all multi-dimensional layers of consciousness. And therefore, we are able to experience our journey through whatever way will arrive us there at the soul's specific learning through Earth School, but also through the way that will help to integrate the wisdom into knowledge in the human experience for the cognitive mind, but also for a level of what we might call being completely unfuckable with. So this means that you're not able to be influenced, you're not able to be pushed against, you are not able to be wavered from your truth. You are so in the connection, you are so undeniably devoted to your own intuitive guidance and to your own connectivity and transformation. So we're going to take a couple of deep breaths because I want you to really receive what this transmission is. And there is a lot of frequency and there's a lot of information that's coming through. I am also on the 50th floor at the moment in Brisbane. So there is a lot of heightened angelic consciousness that is coming through by being more up in the ether energy. So I'm going to just really anchor us down in, and we're going to receive all of the information that's here through all layers of time-space continuum, through all trinities, and through all quadrants. And we're going to ask from the point of creation to the point of destruction to hold and to stabilize this frequency as we take a nice strong deep breath in and out. In and out. In and out. Beautiful. What is important to understand about this transmission specifically is that there is many angelic representatives. We have Yeshua, Mary, we have that of Buddha in the form of the Bodhisattva. We have the saints of Saint Germain and Mother Mary. We have the Sophia Dragon tribe in the purified form. And we also have Archangel Michael. And the purified expression of the Luciferian consciousness that comes into connection with the heavenly sound remembrance of the halls of Amenti and the purified expression of Persephone and the purified expression of Hercules. And we have different gods and goddesses that are all on the outskirts. So we're just going to allow for their energy contribution to be here as the words and the language is brought through. The specific initiation phase that we are moving through is a 3-week to 5-month period of what we might call a mastery in love. Now, this love consciousness is coming with a point of clarity, transformation, and mastery. So clarity being the trajectory of what love is for you as an individual. Mastery being that you're mastering this frequency without disturbances, addictions, or disconnections. And transformation being that you're transforming your physical human experience to be able to support this love. So I'm going to go through each of these 3 pillars to interpret and to understand how this initiation cycle is assisting you, because it will be different for all. Some of you will be mastering in this inner reality. Some of you will be mastering the inner and the outer. Some of you will be mastering your connection and communion with God, and how this looks in those 3 levels of clarity, mastery, and transformation. So clarity being that it's about getting clear consciousness. So we're working in the mental around clarity. Clarity in what it is from the forms of my mental interpretation of reality. How does my mind start thinking about love? How does my mind want to create new formats of thought about love? What is it around the direction of my consciousness that is going to allow for clarity of the love that is true for me as an individual being? So these thought forms are thoughts that are honoring to yourself, but also honoring to what it is you're creating. So if you're not yet in partnership and you're not yet in divine love, and this might be a perfect point to introduce you and invite you into the New Earthers Mystery School, because we have a 3-month initiation on creating divine partnership with self, other, and God. And this will take you through many different trainings and different transmissions to allow for you to further develop your current relationship, further develop what it is that you would like to bring into reality, but also further develop your relationship in loving communion with God. So all 3 are very important for us in New Earth consciousness. So it's very, very vital for you, if you're a New Earth being, to understand that this is something that you need to cultivate if you want to have a stability and an anchored expression of New Earth reality in your movements forward. So this clarity is around becoming clear of what your partnerships look like. What is your partnership hold? How do you function? Are you the same? Are you different? What elements do you hold in your constitution? So when I say this elements, I mean I'm of water and fire, and I have a very strong steam, and I'm very ethereal, right? So I I require and have created in clarity someone who holds a lot of fire for that passion, for that drive, for that creation, for that movement, this really intense, passionate, fiery energy, but also that they're very grounded and anchored, so they're solid. I need a big rock or a really strong earth anchoring energy to assist me as a conduit, and this ability to hold and anchor is a clarity for me, right? So your elements, what elements do you need? Do you need some that are the same, and some that are polarizing, or do you need completely polarizing? What is it that for your this divine connection, or angelic love, because that's what it is. It's angelic love. We're not talking about loves in any other form at the moment. We are going through an initiation of creating angelic heavenly love. And so our Christos will be working through us, our connection to the saints. We will be having visitations from ascended masters. But it is for us to understand this relationship with love. How much are you open to receiving the love of your brothers and sisters from the heavenly connections? How angelic have you become in receiving the love of God? How much do you embody the true representation of unconditional love? So this clarity is looking into specific elements. You also want to look at, and this is because this is from the consciousness thought paradigms, the thoughts are going to allow for you to create the templating, to create the pathway. That's why it's very important to be clear on your thought process, very clear on what it is that you're creating, very clear on what you're calling in, very clear on what it is that you're focusing on. So clarity of thought in relation to this angelic love. How is your personality going to be met in coherence, or what you might call synergy? Do you have a similar personality type? Is this angelic love one that is going to be samesies and it's going to provide you a sense of home, or is it going to be different? So it's going to expand your consciousness. It's going to open you to a greater sense of self. Are they teaching you something that you have yet to master, or have you mastered this within your own clarity that you're asking for this to be mirrored in another? So for instance, for many, many years, I was like, I just want someone who can do what I can do, and who can see what I can see, and who can guide me and can touch me and can experience the way that I do, so I can have that in return, because I had not until meeting my partner, Brendan, at this point in time, and I believe forevermore, in full commitment, right? So that's a clarity piece. Are you fully committed to this person? Is this an initiation? Is this a learning journey? Is this a soul temporary pathway? Now, for my partner and I, Brendan, this is our eternal love, and we're not leaving each other, and that forever love is glitching on the mind at times, because you realize all the times that you wanted it but you weren't it, right? Because the clarity wasn't there. You didn't have the foundations, you didn't have the interpretations, you didn't have the stability, and so this is what this angelic love is teaching us, is to create those pathways through ourselves and others. And it doesn't mean that you're going to be with them eternally. They might be the stepping stone to your eternal love. They might be the stepping stone to your life partner, but the clarity is important. So sitting and being really clear in the thought forms of, the thought is that I require someone who can hold my sexual energy and my sexual discovery. I need a partner, or I need God to be able to show me how to feel my own true loving connection. So this clarity in relation to, and if you have a pen and paper to write this down, around looking at your elements. What do you need to master through the mirrors of your reality, or through God, or through internal self? So when I was mastering my water element, I was spending a lot of time in the bath. I was processing and I was using purification. I was taking myself to the bath to bathe in the eternal waters of life itself. I was working with the cosmic womb waters. So that was me mastering my own internal waters. But I was also have learned to receive the waters and the ethereal waters in connection to the consciousness of existence itself. And the waters that are cultivated through other is allowing my rivers to flow. So with these waters have been cultivated in the inner, the presence of God, and in other. So looking at your elements, looking at your personality traits, what is really growing and becoming clear for you, and what is it that will help you to become more clear in your direction, to be held in your friendships, your business partnerships, or counterparts in the form of love specifically. The other area that I would like you to bring clarity in thought is, how are your beliefs affecting your creation? What belief systems do you actually still hold that are preventing you from creating the thing that you consciously say you want? So you want to look at the belief structures that are keeping a limitation to your current focus forward, present moment creation and focus forward. So as you're clarifying your thought paradigms, what it is that you're bringing in and what you're thinking is to stay in complete coherence with that angelic love. So choosing to think the thoughts of the heavenly love of your family, the heavenly love of yourself, to receive and make love to God. This will allow for that clarity to keep coming forward in not dropping into the energy of resistance, the energy of rejection, and the energy of the stories of mind. Mastery. So mastery comes down to a very human representation. Mastery is very much a solid physical human reality when we're talking about anchoring any frequency, but specifically angelic love in this phase. And that means mastering your breath. That means mastering a point of present moment time. That means not allowing yourself to get stuck and absorbed into a phone. That means taking yourself to the gym, mastering and taking yourself for walks, mastering your physical reality, saying no to alcohol, saying no to drugs, saying no to the booty call that you're getting at 5 p.m. on a Friday night because you're lonely and you just want physical connection. This is about mastery of your angelic love. You want to master and focus your chi, your kundalini, and your energy into the creations that honor that love. So what honors that love? When these things are coming up, what activities is it facilitating? And this helps you to honor that love, because you're hearing your own thought forms, you're hearing your own message of God, you're sharing in a way that gives you further clarification of this this dance of consciousness. Is it that your meditation will help you to master your chi so that your body can hold that chi rather than wanting to fuck it out, sleep it out, purge it out? Because sometimes when we have a lot of amazing energy and a lot of frequency, angelic, Christos, those seraphim dragon, that's a powerful, potent energy. That's like it is just like such a potency that if you aren't willing to hold it, if you're not willing to move with it, do you need to dance to master it? Do you need to breathe it through? Do you need to use code? Do you need to write a book? Do you need to sit and paint every day? What is it that is your mastery of this angelic love, this honor? Would it be, and I want you to ask yourself in these moments when different things are coming up, when you're invited to go and have a Sunday session, drinking session, is this honoring of the mastery of my love that I'm creating in reality? No. Okay, then I'm going to say thank you for the invitation. I'm choosing at this moment to focus my energy here, or thank you for the invitation, but I can't make it, right? You don't even have to give an explanation or a justification to your no's. You just need to be clear in your no's. So is this connection going to be of contribution to me mastering this time? Is this phone call going to help me to master my energy into what it is that I'm bringing forward? Is this creation? Is this business? Is this education? Is this spending time with friends helping me to master? If not, then what is going to assist my physical reality to master this? So specifically, we're looking at physical time spent in what will assist angelic love mastery. That might be sitting in a specific amount of time with locations or people, or even food and presence. So you're going to have to be very uniquely individual in this. And find 3 elements of physical cultivation to assist you in your angelic love mastery, so that you can keep that clarity. Because without the mastery of the physical, you can't keep clear thought. The clear thought they become entangled, they become muddy, they become dirty, because your thought cannot be without your physical mastery and your reality. They need to work together. So if we look at it in this way, we're looking more in the masculine or the psyche of mind and body, right? Physical being body and mind being consciousness. So we're looking at that together. And this is for all beings, yet there is always all elements at play. Yet because we are human, we have limited ability to focus on all 4 quadrants at once. Even when we sit in the unity point, we've still got one point of focus in every moment. The point of focus I have here is a more physical one, in the form of it is connecting me right now in the facilitation style to consciousness. So I'm working in the physical and the mental to be able to facilitate with you. Whereas the other, the angelic support is doing the energetic, the spiritual, the emotional, the feeling, the sensation. I'm not specifically focusing on my feminine pillars in this moment to share in a more educational way, whilst also having a lot of brain recalibration, right? Because consciousness will change your synapses pathways of your mind and increase your bandwidth. And that's really, really powerful for having a disciplinary, focused intention. Many of the individuals in spirituality are so lost in their feelings and their weaving that they can't actually master and focus their intention of thought. Now, focused thought is an absolute necessity when it comes to new earth energies, because it is what builds your pathways forward. It is what creates. You're the creator of your own reality. We are the creator of one mind of consciousness, that if we can't focus our thought forms, if we can't focus our direction of thinking, of language, of information, then we become the byproduct of our consciousness, which is it just reconciling itself, trying to problem solve, because that's what the mind does. And the consciousness will just weave and weave and weave until it can find enough information to have focus. But we can focus with breath. We can focus with intentional thought forms of this mastery of, okay, when I start thinking a thought that doesn't sound like it connects to angelic love, then I choose to not think this. I choose to embody the thoughts of my angelic loving presence. I choose to think in unconditional love for myself and for others and for all, right? So this mind mastery is a lot of contribution with the physical. This physical, you need to have a regulated nervous system. You need to make sure that you're not taking too much caffeine. You need to look at what is your physical realm. Do you need to be going to bed earlier? Do you need to be waking up earlier? Do you need to be having a morning routine? Is it that you need to go on a fast? You need more water? What is your physical mastery to help you to stabilize this clear intention of thought, so that you can manifest this angelic loving presence within self, to create it with other, and to be it in communion and union with God. The next focus beyond the physical mastery, because that is going to take up a lot of your focus is the physical aspect, is that when you're in the physical movement, when you're making the physical choices, when you're creating the physical conversations, your consciousness will naturally recalibrate, and the clarity of what you've already put into self-reflection will become integrated. So, and when you reflect and take this time to go, what elements, personality, what is this, and get really clear on angelic love for you, and then you start focusing on the physical, you don't need to go back into that clarity so much, because it will drop in natural downloads when the flow's there, when you're moving, when you're in contributing connections, conversations, relationships. So my question to leave you with before we move into the transformational part of this is, what is your question to ask yourself around mastery, right? So often I will have a question, or I'll ask my clients to find a question of what is resonant to that current initiation, or that learning, or that development cycle, or that healing, to assist them. One of the ones that has always just been super powerful for me, because it was such a long initiation, was am I choosing love or am I choosing fear, right? And it was simple, right? And it would be, well, you're in fear, choose love, come back into love, come back into love, come back into love. So what is your question in relation to this now moment? Is and receive that question that's going to lock you back into focus of mastery. Does this, so for me, a simple question is this honoring of my partner? Now, that's really interesting because it's not a self-focus, right? But I've done so much self-focus. I've done so much self-mastery. I've done so much God mastery. When it comes to mastering a union, that's still something I'm developing, and it's so beautiful. But I'm not mastered in the level of taking other as of God. I've taken myself as of God, I've taken God as of God, like full devotion to self, full devotion to God. Now I'm learning full devotion to other partner as God, because that's what he represents to me. So my question is this honoring of my partner? And if it's a yes, then do it. If it's a no, then we've got to either, one, look at why you're being attracted to it, because it has information for you, or it will be something as simple as, okay, we're alchemizing that out. That's just not going to be supportive to my transformation. And then we're looking at the pillar of transformation. So transformation is inner transformation in the form of cultivating the inner so it ripples out. So sometimes we have outer transformation. We've had a lot of that in the last few months, where things have just pivoted. Jobs, moving house, all these things in the outer are happening, where you look at your life and you're like, whoa, this looks so different to what I thought it was, right? This outer transformation. This is different. This is an inner transformation that radiates out. Sometimes we just have inner transformations. So there's so many different ways we transform, depending on the evolution, depending on the perspective, depending on the journey at that point in time. So this inner transformation is basically coming to that point of mastery and clarity, and then it starts to orb or ripple out of your experience, out of your being. So you're able to become clear in it here, but it has a direct effect or feedback loop in your outer. So you might find that you're instantly healing things because you've come to a clarity and mastery where your consciousness or your thought forms and your body, your physical, and are working in direct synergy, which means that your physical, you could, if you started the gym this month and you mastered those, lose or like transform your body very quickly. You might attract a lot of money really fast because your thought is in angelic love with physical reality. So that's another call to action, is we have Creating Cash, a Kundalini recoding 90-minute session, group contribution session, donation based, so yum, so good. These are super orgasmic, and these are using focus. So the creation process being that of the CAD framework, which is 12 steps, takes about 60 minutes to go through a personalized session, or we do the 60 minutes and other activities and quantum transformational tools. But that is conscious direction. It's asking very clear questions, and it's using focused mind in mind-heart coherence with the Kundalini breath to develop and bring through pathways of creating that. Now, that in this point of time, based on what we're all focusing on, if you can join your mental and your physical in complete connectivity, your transformation with whatever you're focusing on, from clarity to mastery, will happen like that really quickly. So if it was creating a partner, because we are talking about angelic love, as soon as your mental and your physical meet that point, they will come into your physical experience. They will come into the arrival, because you've no longer got a space that's there. Your mental and your physical are like, yep, okay, perfect, I'm ready. And I invite that, and it's time to arrive, right? So that, when that happens, things click, and it changes the entire feedback of collective consciousness and your physical environment. But it has to be from the inner to the outer. So the inner consciousness to the outer physical reality is how transformation is happening. If we want to focus on this transformation, remembering that it's actually the byproduct of the clarity and the mastery. So your physical mastery with your clarity is going to give you that inner to outer ripple of transformation. You can't actually focus on the transformation because of being a human being. We have one point of focus at every point of time. We have the ability to see, right? So my focus is communicating to you now, but I have peripherals of the awareness that my phone's going off and there's a few people that are contacting me there. I have awareness that the city's out in front of me and it looks really beautiful and just super magical. I have an awareness that I have a client in about an hour and I'm doing a hands-on facilitation, but I'm not focusing on that because I'm focusing on you here right now as the present moment. I can't focus on those things. They just do what they do around me, and I have a slight awareness of them. So when we're looking at this journey, the transformational process is not going to come to the end. You're not going to be able to focus on that until you've moved through clarity, mastery, secondary. So first, primary is clarity, getting the consciousness. Then it's mastery. But the clarity could have already been working through and you might be shifting into mastery now. So it depends how long you've been in this phase already. And it can be challenging in the first point of clarity to even realize you're clarifying your consciousness, because it happens through many layers of many initiations. You're not just in one cycle of transformation, you're in many, because in this moment we're talking about angelic love, and that's the focus of clarity, mastery, and transformation. But in the next moment when I get off this, I might go straight into the focus of my business and emails, and right, so that's my point of focus shifts, and so this then works in the background. And this is important to understand, because there's no way of manipulating this. This is human physical reality. You cannot skip steps is one thing. You cannot jump and not integrate. You cannot defy universal law. You cannot manipulate universal law and not have karmic feedback, and also confusion and freezing and all kinds of interesting experiences that are not, if you want to master this reality, then these are really powerful tools for you, because they are built in quantum physics. They are built in universal law. They are built in the foundations of the fabric of this reality. The Trinity being a three-dimensional realm. 1, 2, 3. Everything in threes. Then if you don't understand the threes and you need more information, you go into the sixes. If you can't fully understand it, then you go into nines. So 3, 6, and 9 is the totality of this realm, this reality. And if you can break it up into 3, 6, and 9, then you can master this. You can have fun. You can create intentionally. You can move through your processes understanding, okay, in this angelic love initiation right now, I've actually done the point 1 of focus, which is clarity. I'm in point 2. So it's now physical mastery and the awareness that I've already clarified my thoughts, my consciousness. What do I need to do to bring it together so that transformation happens? And then what happens is that trinity that's created is integrated, stabilized, and you move on to the next cycle of your life. You move on to the next journey. You move on to the next pathway. So as a completion and a closing piece here, I want you to ask yourself what it is that you're denying about your reality that is preventing you from being able to be really clear and in mastery of what it is that you actually want to transform. Because this is what your heart desires to transform. It is what your soul desires to transform. It is what you want in your experience. So what is it that you're in denial of that is preventing this from happening? Thank you for receiving this facilitation. Thank you for receiving this education. Please remember to like, subscribe. Please do follow me on all my social media platforms. They all have different content, all have different information. So you do need to be on all platforms to receive all of my channels and all of the different education and codes and frequencies. And please join the email list if you would like information on all Recoding Wealth Creation sessions as they change each week to meet our global community, as well as the vibration, the collective, and the session that the focus is on. So this Thursday, the 9th of October, at 8 a.m. Brisbane Standard Time. I won't be in this city at the moment, but I'm sure I'm gathering the creating cash codes, because that's what I do. I know this about myself. This is a part of my mission, is I go to certain land locations and I gather the information. Now, Brisbane is quite an expensive and beautiful city, and it is very much material. So let's use this beautiful cash and bring it in to have some fun in some sexual alchemy with self, other, and the collective group. You can find those links in my link tree. And you can contact me directly if you need some support with this initiation specifically. If you would like to come into the New Earthers Mystery School, where we're focusing 3 months on divine partnership and love itself. Or if you are looking for support in financial business paradigms of conscious business, I assist those to either marry and merge their current business to their life purpose, or to create more currency and financial abundance through what we call sustainable business, which is soul-aligned business. This is building from the blueprint of your soul. So if you're not quite sure that you're on path, if you feel like you are having a transition when it comes to this, please do reach out. These are 3 months intensive high touch. We create your energetic blueprint for the dharmic expression of your life moving forward. I love you. Have an absolutely beautiful, amazing day. Thank you, thank you, thank you.